Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel, Gun Breakdown, a beginner's guide. I'm Jonathan, and today we're going to be talking about the Glock series. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Glock 19 Gen 5. So I'm going to show you guys how to break it down and how to reassemble it. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so first things first, we always want to make sure our weapon is on safe. And for Glock, there is no true safety. There is a trigger safety, and then there's an internal drop safety. Now, I will say that we always want to do a physical and visual inspection of the chamber. So using our slide lock right here, or slide release, depending on what you want to call it, we'll just call it the slide release. We're going to lock the slide back to the rear, and we're going to push this up and let the slide go, and it'll lock back in place just like that. Okay, now we're going to do our physical and visual inspection of the chamber to make sure that there's absolutely nothing inside. Okay, so physical inspection, I feel absolutely nothing. It's clear and we're good to go. So now we're going to send the slide back forward. Okay, so on the Glock 19 and most Glocks in general, you're going to notice the slide lock bar. So this specific piece is going to be right here. And you're going to notice it on both sides of the firearm. So I'll go ahead and show you right here. So the way to disassemble this is you're going to have to pull both sides down at the same time because it is one whole entire piece. So we're going to go ahead and once again, make sure your weapon's safe, clear, and we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger. Now we're going to pull the slide back just a little bit of tension. Using our thumb and index finger, we're going to pull down both sides, take the slide off, and now we've broken it down into our pistol grip, just our frame. Next is going to be our guide rod and spring. This piece right here. Next is going to be our barrel. And then next is the slide itself. So now you've broken down your firearm into the four main components. This is all you need to know as a beginner. There's nothing more in depth that you need to go to break it down. You don't need to take out your trigger housing group or anything of that nature, anything crazy, or taking out the smaller pieces. This is good enough. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to actually clean your firearm, which this gun desperately needs. So now for reassembly, we're going to take our barrel. We're going to put it back into our frame. So into this hole right here, with this side facing down. And it will come out like that. You push it back in and it'll fall right into place. Keeping some pressure on it just so you guys can see. This is exactly what it looked like when it was put together. Now we're going to take our guide rod and our spring and we're going to put it back into place into the hole that is right here. So taking the flat end, not the end with the flange kind of sticking out, but the end that's rounded off your guide rod. And we're going to put this back in, and there's a little notch right here where this flange piece is going to sit. It's not this one, it's this piece right here on the bottom. So let me go ahead and show you. All right, nice. You see that gap right there? This little gap that's right here. So that if you don't see a gap there, then you've set it in on the wrong side. So just make sure you go a little bit lower and go into that little concave, that little U shape. Go into that little area, and that's where your guide rod and your guide rod / spring is going to sit. Now for Glock, all you have to do to put it back together is set it into the grooves So your grooves are going to be these pieces, these little silver pieces right here, and it'll just slide right on. And you see these little cuts? That's made for your grooves to go into. Next, we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to slide this back on all the way. And then just lock it back all the way to the rear. And then your slide has now been locked back in place by the slide bar, by the slide lock. And now we're going to do what's called a functions check. So what this consists of is checking the trigger, click, rack it back to reset the trigger. This time you're going to hold it down, click again, and as you're holding it down, you're going to rack the slide back. And when you release it, you're going to hear a different noise, more of a clunk kind of noise. Okay? And then now we're going to pull the trigger again, click, reset, and you're done. And that's how you do your functions check. This is how you do your disassemble and your reassemble of the Glock 19 Gen 5. Thank you for joining me. Please drop a like and subscribe, and please share with your friends. And thank you so much for joining me.